How y'all doing? This is Jesse Morgan for the Real World J podcast show. I'm your host, Jason Morgan, host Mark 2.5. He's not here right now. I'm just doing like a little something because I know on Part Healing 3 that, man, I'll try to do a Part Healing 3. And, man, the audio was messed up. Listen to it, so I know y'all didn't even download that or turn that off. But so I'm going to give y'all. So this is Part 4, but I'm going to give y'all. We'll go back to Part 3 too. Still the ones who didn't listen. I understand why you didn't listen because it was bad audio issues, and I apologize for that. That won't happen again. So I got it fixed. I know I sound good now. So we're gonna make it happen, make it do what it do, cause it do what it do on the Real World J podcast show. So I'm gonna do everything right, everything good. We're gonna vibe to a song like we do for the people who is idle. We get to a song, then we get to a quote, and then we get to the show. And the show is called Healing Part 4. At the end of the day, one of the big things that you gotta do is heal. Because if you don't heal, you just bleeding on the people. You just bleed on the people who didn't hurt you. You know what I mean? So that's what kind of healing that we're talking about on this show today. So if you want to tune in and stay in, then that's where we're going to be, and this is where we're going, and that's where, and I feel like a lot of people need that. So this is what we're talking about. This is what we're doing. So here we go. The Real World J podcast show. So you know how we do it. A song quote, pay some bills, and we get to it. This is for my listeners, just who be riding in a car, who don't want to look at audio, just want to listen, your earphone, maybe or you work out or something. I told y'all I'm gonna give y'all at least one or two of these. Everything like gonna be y'all live and everything like that. Like I did, And sometimes you got to do things for the day ones. Y'all the day ones. So here we go. That's what we're talking about. Healing. Because at the end of the day, like I said, you can't move forward if y'all looking backwards, And I say that all the time. And if you don't, like I said, if you don't heal, you just bleeding all over on the people who didn't even hurt you, who didn't even cut you. So that's kind of healing we're talking about. Deep healing on the Real World J podcast show. Let's go.
I remember all of the things that I thought I wanted to be. So desperate to find a way out of my world and finally breathe. Right before my eyes I saw my heart, it came to life. This ain't easy, it's not meant to be. Every story has its scars, but when the pain cuts you deep, and when the night keeps you from sleeping, just look and you will see that I will be your remedy. When the world seems so cruel and your heart makes you feel like a I promise you will see that I will be your remedy. No river is too wide or too deep for me to swim to you. Come whatever, I'll be the shelter that won't let the rain come through. Your love and I will always love you, love you. When the pain cuts you deep, and when the night keeps you from sleeping, just look and you will see that I will be your remedy. When the world seems so cruel, and your heart makes you feel like a fool, I promise you will see that I will be your remedy. When the pain cuts you deep, when the night keeps you from sleeping, just look and you will see I will be. When the world seems so cruel, and your heart makes you feel like a fool, I promise you will see that I will be your remedy.
How y'all doing? We are back on the Real World J podcast show. It's your host, Jesse Morgan. Like I said, we are live on YouTube live. So if you listening live, you can follow us and you can watch us on YouTube live also. So this is how we're doing it on the Real World J podcast show. So let's go. And so we're talking about healing part number 4. And like I was telling the listeners before, you know, if you don't heal what hurt you, then you just bleeding on people didn't even cut you. And then, like I was saying before, like I always say, you can't move forward if you're always looking backwards. You're gonna bump into something, you're gonna trip into something. It's like, like they say the worst, like this is the worst thing, this is the worst like saying in the world, and this part of the vicious cycle. That they say the best way to get over a man is get under a new man. That makes no sense because you still you still traumatized, or you probably still going through what you're going through. And you get under the other man, and now he got to deal with you being you and dealing with and then you dealing with things that you carried, you brought with you. How's they getting over it? And you still dealing with it, but just with a different person. That's kind of wrong on your part. You gonna help, you know what I'm saying? You gonna you gonna put stuff on, so you gonna put things on someone who didn't even had nothing to do with it, or who didn't, who didn't, he didn't have nothing to do with it, but so you telling me that I got to deal with all this. That's wrong. That's selfish. You know what I'm saying? Why would you want somebody to deal with the problems that you and somebody else created? And the person that created it with you, not even around you. You know what I'm saying? Don't even want to help you fix you, but they did it. But you want to put that off on somebody else. That's not healing. They're just getting by. And then just getting by, it always just, the road doesn't get easy. It just crumbles. Crumbles behind. It just crumbles behind you. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, when you when you because when you get in a relationship like that, that it becomes toxic. It becomes toxic, and then that's a bridge. And that's why I say about the road crumbling behind you, because you always wanna in these days, especially in these times, in any time, in general, just being a good person. You always want to have so many bridges that you can walk across back. You can go back to. Don't burn bridge. Don't see, and that's how you burn bridges because they just like, that person just a fucked up person. I can't deal with them. I don't never want them in my life ever again. And they was a good person. You never know what you never want nobody to say. Oh my God, that person. I don't never want to see that person. I don't want that person. If I never seen that person in my life, I'll be good. Wow, you know, that's a lot of damage you did because you didn't try to heal properly. So you damaged someone else because you didn't heal. That's part of the vicious cycle, and that's what we need to break. Because like because the quote of the day is, "Don't let life make you bitter. Let it make you better." I'll say it again. Don't let life make you bitter. Let it make you better. You know, because sometimes sometimes we, sometimes we hold on, sometimes we hold on to pain and we think it's motivation, but it's just really a distraction to, it's just really a distraction for you to not face the real thing that you really going through because you're not dealing with it. You just using it, or you using a certain part of it. Because if you're using all of it, then you have to face all of it, and then you have to see all of it, and then you have to deal with all of it. So you just take that one piece and you use it, and you probably use it for your motivation, and what I'm saying, use it for your motivation to get where you need to go. I get that, but also but that all the other pieces and all the other parts that you didn't heal, they still there. They're always gonna be there until you challenge them, until you take care of them, until you know make it happen. Just because you put something in, just because you put a box in the closet doesn't mean that it's gone. It means it's just put away. And that and if you traumatized by something, you hurt by something, you can't put just can't just put things away. You have to open up the box and you have to deal with it. That's why it's such thing called cold cases. You can, stupid, but if you can, what I'm saying, if you can keep, what I'm saying, like if you can get away with murder, there's no jurisdiction or time on murder, so there's no jurisdiction or time on trauma. Especially if you dealing with it every single day, especially if you dealing with it every single day on a conscious effort. Kind of like when the abuse. So when the abuser start being, you know what I'm saying? When like it's like the abuser start being the user. You ever thought about that? Like what you know what I'm saying? Like if people's in a relationship and they just go through, just hell through water, whatever. Really, in the end of the day, people in the end of the day, people only do what you're allowed them to do in your life, and that can be traumatizing too. And if you have, if somebody have dealt with that, or if they, dealt with that, and then they go to the next person, to the next situation, and haven't dealt with those issues because they know they don't like that, and they know that they not gonna. First, I gotta know, but that's how you heal. But that's the process of healing because then that's how you know what you don't want. And what you know what you don't want, and when you're in the next situation, you won't deal with the same bullshit that you've been through. That's a part of healing because that I can tell when a person hasn't healed because they go through the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. That ain't healing because when you heal, you grow. If you ain't heal, you ain't grow. Because when you heal, You know what you don't want. You know what you don't. You know what I'm saying? You know what you ain't gonna tolerate. That's you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. End of the day, you gotta go through. You gotta go through that box. You know what I'm saying. You gotta face that traumatizing situation because at the end of the day, pain is love. And if you know what I'm saying, if you love yourself, if you love yourself or the way you say you do, this shit gonna hurt. It's supposed to hurt. You love yourself, you know, because nobody gonna love you. Because if you don't know how, like, if you don't know how you supposed to be loved, you can't expect nobody else to know how to love you. Because with that standards, accountability, you know, stuff like that. You know, it's just some things that y'all don't even have to talk about. It's some situations that y'all just not gonna be in. You know. But that's all about when you heal. That's when you know. So that's when you learn. And that's when you have growth. And if you say you don't ever want to feel that way no more, heal from the traumatized, and then you learn, and then you heal, and you have growth, and then that statement will be true. Like I said, I just want to give y'all a little something, a little motivation. I messed up on the third one, but I'm here. I love y'all. Peace.